Hi, this is your host Swapnil Bharti, and we are at the end of 2020, and we are almost there with 2021. Today we have with us Cassius Rhue, VP of Customer Experience at SciOS Technology. Cassius, you are holding a crystal ball for us to give us a peek into what the world will look like from the context of disaster recovery, high availability, especially as companies are moving towards cloud. They're moving a lot of mission critical applications to the cloud. But before we go there, I would love to learn from you a bit about SciOS technology. What problems is it solving for its customers?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can save the crystal ball predictions for after with the intro. But SciOS does keeps end users productive, minimizes the downtime, and we take care of complex applications like databases and SAP. We keep them running, automate manual tasks, and we monitor the entire stack. So what we're doing is we're taking the complexity away from the end user for having to worry about automating recovery, monitoring, and availability. And that's really what industry standards calls high availability and disaster recovery. We're in the business of ending downtime.
Now you can go and grab your crystal ball. If you look at the ongoing trends, we of course expect to see more enterprise migrating more mission critical applications, ERPs, and databases to the cloud. I mean, everything will move to the cloud. But what do you see as a major factor which might slow this progress?
Yes, that's a great question. And really, this one's one where we don't need the crystal ball just yet. I think one of the biggest factors for delaying migration to the cloud or interrupting that cycle is going to be a lack of planning. And what I mean by that is lack of planning for high availability and disaster recovery, or customers and enterprises choosing to do a DIY approach, just sort of figuring it out and feeling their way as they go. Those things cause delays as companies realize that they forgot about availability or that they didn't test real world scenarios. And suddenly, when they get to the cloud, they have this realization that they aren't as prepared and they haven't planned for it in a way that leads to productive deployments and reduces the risk of downtime. And there's also going to be the challenge of misunderstandings of what it means to lift and shift to the cloud. Lift and shift really doesn't mean that you take your on-premise environment and move it as is to the cloud. There are a lot of differences that enterprises are going to need to understand between on-premise and cloud. And these things have to be thought through. You have to architect your solution. You have to plan for them. Overlay IPs, whether you're using a load balancer, you want to understand what's available in the cloud, whether that's NFS that you had on-premise can now be subsidized with something like EFS and Amazon's EC2. And then you'll have to understand that in your on-premise environment, right, there are going to be trade-offs that you have to make when you're moving to cloud, and not understanding and planning for those trade-offs on control and access, those are going to create the delays that we'll see in customers and enterprises moving to cloud in 2021.
As this cloud adoption, kind of takes center stage, companies start, moving to cloud. How do you see companies solve, some of these long-standing challenges to business continuity, which is critical, that's all that they and the customer care about. At the same time, data recovery, disaster recovery as well.
Yeah, sure. So I see in 2021, as cloud adoption continues to take form and take shape and drive our innovations, you're going to start to see more hybrid cloud solutions for disaster recovery. Customers are going to be aware of these cloud outages, and they're going to be aware of how critical it is to maintain their application availability. And they're going to leverage the on-premise and cloud for some of their workloads. You're going to start seeing companies leverage hybrid cloud or multi-cloud, where they're going to start picking best in class to run particular workloads as part of their strategy. They're also going to stop wasting time on kind of a do-it-yourself clustering solution and move more towards purpose-built solutions, professional-grade commercial solutions such as the SciOS Protection Suite line of products for Linux and Windows. And what they're going to do that for is to leverage this commercial-grade availability to leverage sort of a cloud agnostic, OS agnostic solution that then frees their resources up to do what they do best, which is to focus on their business, to focus on, say, DevOps solutions, to focus on things that help optimize what they're in the business of doing. And they're going to leave the HA, the high availability and disaster recovery, to a unique solution that's capable of making sure their applications, their databases, things like SAP, and all the complex solutions are highly available in one framework.
Also, one thing we cannot not talk about, which is uptime. How important do you see uptime being, especially for database and ERP system, as companies kind of look to mine critical data from the edge to the cloud?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I like to frame it this way. A long time ago, we would think of, IT infrastructure being all about the hardware and the experts who managed it. But with the advent of the Internet of Things and all of these edge devices and lots of applications that are moving to the cloud, and there's a tremendous amount of data, we are starting to see the rise and increase of data being the king. And companies really are looking for something that goes beyond just protecting their availability, but also protecting the data. And so you're looking to see enterprises move towards making sure that in their solution, they're not only in creating uptime, which end customers and enterprises care about, but they are interested in making sure they have access to that data, making sure that data is secured, and also making sure that the data itself is highly available, because that's going to be the most important thing for these enterprises as they go forward. Having those applications available and having that data available so they can mine that data to produce better solutions and better experiences for their customers.
Cassius, thank you so much for taking time out today and hold this crystal ball for me and talk about the things that it's a real challenge, because business continuity is a big, going to be big as they move to the cloud. So thanks for sharing those insights. And first of all, Happy New Year, and I'll look forward to talk to you again next year. Thank you.
Absolutely. Same to you. Look forward to talking to you in the new year.